Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel Books with Natasa. Today I'm filming a second part for a series that I'm planning for you guys, and that is a fictional characters series. Basically, this is going to be a series where I'm talking about different types of characters in every book that I have ever read. And I hope this is a fun video for you guys, so let's get straight into it. For this video, we're going to talk about my favorite female characters, otherwise known as book girlfriends, and I just can't wait for this because we have so many badass women in these videos, and we love that about all the books that are out there. So let's just get straight into it. First one that I want to talk about is Audrey Rose. Watch her. This is the main character from Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Katie Maniscalco. And Audrey Rose is just such a powerful and fierce character. That's one of the reasons she's my favorite character ever. She's such a role model to me. I inspired to be more like her. She's unafraid to speak her mind. She is intelligent, and isn't scared to show men in her life that she is quite smarter than them, and they shouldn't underestimate them. So also we get to see that even though she's a woman, she can still like dresses and fabrics, and still like science as well, and still be powerful and badass. Basically, we see Audrey Rose is working for her as an apprentice with her uncle in a morgue. So, and in these books are set in 1800s during the Jack the Ripper murders. So she's quite busy, and she lives in an age that women are supposed to look pretty and drink tea and get married well. So the fact that she's working in such a extreme job, even by our standards, is quite fascinating and incredible, and it takes a lot of courage, and she has it. Also, this series has a lot of quotable moments, more by Audrey Rose, especially, and she tells us how it's important to always be brave and not be afraid to show who you really are, and you'll find someone who appreciates that for you, and I just love that so much. And I also love that she isn't a damsel in distress and waiting for a man to come and save her. She always tries to do that by herself and with the help of her mind. And I just love that so much, and it's incredible. I'm sorry I'm stuttering, I have no idea why, but that's many of the reasons why I love her, and you should definitely try and read this series. It's totally worth it. Next is another favorite of mine, and that is Farah Akaron from the Aquatar series. And at the beginning, I wasn't a big fan of her. In the first book, she was a little bit naive and blunt, and it wasn't my favorite. But in book number 2, Aquatar, she had such an emotional journey. She grew so much as a person, and it was like she became the person she was always meant to be. And that didn't come alone. She had a lot of help, Reese and everyone. And in the beginning of the second book, we see her in such a dark place. She's depressed. She barely eats. She's eating away with guilt for the stuff that she had to do to break the curse in the previous book. And Tamlin is no help. She lets her sort it out herself, if you can believe that. And it's like the worst thing he can do, because he's wasting away month after month until Reese finally decides to step in and use the bargain between them to make her feel something, make her feel mad or something, so she can find the will to live again. And when she goes through all that, she is starting to become to terms with her new powers, her new body, and the stuff that she has to do to protect her family and her loved ones. So that's I love it so much. Also, we see her wanted to become stronger, so she's never powerless again. So I love that about her. Also, we see how sweet and kind she still is. Even though she's fey now, she still has a human heart, and it's just like such an incredible story, and she's such an incredible character, and I love her so much. Next we have Poppy Danier, and she is the main character from the Blood series, and I love her so much. She's such a badass character, and we see her we see her in having such a dark past, and the fact that she has survived a Craven attack, Craven Arch, these sort of monsters that exist in the series, and her parents are getting slaughtered, and she's the only survivor, but not without her wounds and scratches and all over her body and face. So just because this stuff happened to her as a child, she has decided she's never going to be powerless again. So she secretly trains to be a fighter, and even though it's against the rules for her, because she is the maiden and she's supposed to exist, not interact with anyone. She lives behind a veil. She isn't allowed to talk, interact with anyone, and she's basically wasting away. She's not her real self. She doesn't even know what that looks like, because she's never been allowed to find out, but she knows she likes to fight, and she's really good at it. So when an opportunity arises for her to escape this situation that she's in, she takes it, and we see her in the next books coming on to become more confident with herself and starting to love herself with the scars, and she passed them, and I just love that. We also see her, even though she becomes this powerful being, she still has all the human emotions that comes with being a human, and we see her still struggle with lives that she really needs to take because they are in the middle of a war. So yeah. We have Juliet Ferrar. She is the protagonist from the Saturn series, one of my all-time favorite series. And for her, I have got a complicated relationship because in the first two books, I believe, she's the most annoying character ever. I mean, we see understand why she is the way she is, because she has been locked up for a long time. Understand is playing stuff with her mind, but we have no idea about that in the two books, but still. And she's super naive, she doesn't know anything, she trusts too easily, she's scared of everything, she's scared of her powers, she's just a scared little girl basically, and it's like super annoying at first, but in book number 3, we see her being more accepts her power more, and she tries to become stronger with training and with warning and all that. And she tries to take down the establishment using her powers. And we see Warner being a big factor with the fact that she becoming more powerful and confident in herself, and as soon as she finds out that she can control her power and touch whatever she wants, everything changes for her. She feels so liberated, and I just love that. We see her in the next books, Define Me and the last one, Imagine Me, getting her memories back and finding out that she has a sister, and the fact that her parents basically gave birth to her so she can be a lab experiment for her sister. So it was quite traumatizing for her to find out, but after all that has happened to her in the previous book, she has grown so much as a person, so it doesn't shake her as much as it should, and we see her bounce back again and just come back and save her sister and everyone basically. This last character is from a series that I read recently, and it has become my newest obsession, and that is Adelaide Riley, and she's the protagonist from The Cat and Mouse Duel by H.T. Carlton. And this is a dark romance, stalker romance, and I love it so much. I have read it over 5 times already. So in the beginning of These books we see Adeline being a famous author who has she's in good in social situations. She feels super anxious with them. She doesn't, and she likes creepy stuff. She likes to be scared, and she's basically a good person. But and so she goes back to this manor that her grandmother used to live, and because she left her, so she starts living there. And then she meets her shadow, the stalker Jade, and he pushes her to move past her boundaries and her morals, and basically change everything that the society has put her in to believe. And it's incredible. We see her being in the center of a sex trafficking ring. They're going to have her and sell her to get the highest bidder. So they tries to protect her, but as we see in the next book, she ends up getting kidnapped and taken by them, and she goes through the most traumatic experience any woman can ever live. And she manages to escape. They find her, but that's not the end. It's not like she's going to be all better and have no PTSD or anything just because she's back home. So we see her struggle a lot. She's in a super dark place after that. She feels violated, dirty, and all these dark things. She's doesn't even know why she's still alive. That's how awful she feels. She doesn't she can't even bear the touch of any man, let alone Zaid. Even though she still loves him and everything, she can't bear to touch him. But Zaid feels super helpless in this situation until he pushes her again in a good way to find her comfort again and take back the power that she was taken from her in that situation. So we see her changing a lot and being this powerful, badass woman, and she changes a lot in order for her to be able to live for herself. So she has decided that after all that had happened to her, she is never going to be powerless again, and she's going to take revenge on those men for all that they did to her in that awful house. So we see her doing all of that, and I love so much how much she has grown over the course of 2 books, and it's just incredible. You guys definitely read this one, but definitely keep my older to go on it. Like I said, it has quite graphic content, and it's really triggering for some people. Not for me, but just keep in mind that. So that's it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I have fun talking about all these beautiful and badass female characters. I show like, subscribe, stick around. I upload new videos every Wednesday. That is my set schedule for now, but we'll see. I'm trying to be able to post 2 videos a week for the new year, but we'll see how that one goes. Lastly, I would really appreciate if you guys give my account below some love, and I will see you for my next video next Wednesday. Bye!